Hello everyone, how's it going? So of course I'm going to talk about the MrBeast situation. I kind of wanted to sit on it, that and I fell asleep. But after compiling as much information as I can based on the internet, I'm sure I'm missing out on some stuff. It doesn't look good for Miss Rosanna. So this is the crux of everything that's happening. There was something called Creator Clash, where there were charity events hosted by MrBeast in order to give away money to charity. Rosanna was one of these participants, along with people who had millions of subs, very notorious creators. You can see MatPat's there, Logan Paul's there, and this event is all for charity. The person who got first place in this specific creators class was a hide-and-seek competition in a giant stadium. Only matters who got first place, and it doesn't change the story. The same person who got first place still got first place, and they got $1 million to give away to the charity or the fans if they choose of their choice. And that was the whole point of it. This was a charity event. Now, if you know anything about MrBeast, he's a philanthropist and entrepreneur. He always min-maxes his videos. He's always on hemorrhaging money because he always has to plug a sponsor. His videos are very lavish. I mean, that Squid Game video was insane. But his videos rival that of some TV corporations. And they're very entertaining. That's the whole point of these videos. They're for entertainment to try and draw as many eyes as possible. So Rosanna is a multi-sub YouTube channel, as you can see here. She does pretty decently for her channel, but here's what you want to look at. So 10 hours ago, she came out with a music video while all of this controversy is happening, and it's going to pair into everything that's happening. So she accused MrBeast of editing her out of the competition after placing third in this entire situation, along with another creator called Quackity, who is also apparently second place. Again, doesn't matter if you got second or third, fourth, fifth, whatever. The only thing that matters is first place, and it hasn't changed. So she is drubbing up this old 2-year-old video, 2-year-old controversy for something that does not even matter. A charity event that's primarily towards helping people. Rosanna has slammed MrBeast, accusing her of lying, who placed in the top 3 of the hide-and-seek challenge in the Creator Games 3. And I also want to add this, she's a multi-sub channel, so you can't even use the argument of like her doing this for notoriety. These were all notorious creators already, and if you're going to say NDA, I don't know how many NDAs are out there about charity events on YouTube. Like, I don't know, like I can understand for an NDA for like say the Xbox One. Like, you can't talk about the architecture of how it works for multiple years. I can understand something like that. Or how a Honda works, or the new Lambo coming out. Like, something that, you know, and huge technological marvel. Something like that I can understand. But a charity event on YouTube is harder to believe. Like, maybe after the video comes out for the sake of keeping the victor confidential to maintain that entertainment, I understand that. But after the video's out, it's public. Like, what are you going to expose? The way they shot the videos with cameras? Like, at its core, I don't see that being a viable argument. Jimmy MrBeast Donaldson may be the biggest YouTuber on the platform, but that doesn't make him immune to controversy. Yeah, there are people who are pissed off at him for curing blind people for an easily accessible surgery because people couldn't afford it. It was cataracts. People couldn't see correctly because they had cataracts and they couldn't afford the surgery, so he offered to pay it for them, and people got mad for that. That's the type of people who get mad at MrBeast. Someone who does so much good for the platform, who shows you can do good on YouTube and still be a success. If you get angry at MrBeast, it's just really comical a lot of the times. But here, it just comes off as sad. Known for giving away massive amounts of cash and hosting extravagant challenges, MrBeast is now being accused of editing his content to present a false narrative. It's reality TV. Like, I've worked for TV corporations. They edit this stuff all the time to make it look more entertaining. Like, do you think fast food commercials are raw footages? Do you think that Jersey Shore, or what is that, Nanny 911, those reality shows that are very popular back in my day, I feel so old, were entirely real? No, people even lost it when they found out that Jersey Shore was an entirely artificial TV show. I was like, yeah. Do you really think they go into a club every night and trash the place and the club owners are okay with it? No. Rosanna, who boasts over 14 million subs on YouTube, took to Twitter to slam MrBeast after she competed in one of his videos, Creator Games 3. And according to Rosanna, her placement in the games was completely edited out. She also participated in 2 other Creator games, so she's been in multiple of these videos. And she knows him on a personal level to the point that she can actually DM this guy. I've been allowing others to treat me poorly in private for many years, and I'm fed up. I'm going to start standing up for myself and finding my voice. So the way that this tweet reads, it sounds like something happened recently that triggered her to do this. Like something just broke everything. Because we all have a breaking point. I strongly believe the way I'm reading this, because the way you write something and the way you speak something have completely different tones. I'll give you an example. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. See the way I said that? I said the same word, a sentence, 4 times, and all 4 sentences have different tones based on what, in the context I used them. I was angry, timid, tired, and relaxed. So the way I'm reading this, and I could be misinterpreted in this because it's writing, she just sounds like she had a breaking point. Like she just got fed up with someone, probably in her personal life, that just caused her to snap, and now she's bringing up 2-year-old drama in order to try and correct all the things she feels like she was wronged on. Look, I can understand when you feel that you're wronged, even though this was a charity competition. I can understand when you feel like you deserve something out of just prestige, like you earned it and you deserve that. I can understand that. I think a lot of us have gone through that, where we feel like we deserve something. We won it, we earned it, and we deserve the recognition, but we didn't get it. But this is, like, based on the context of everything, it just makes you come off as pretentious and narcissistic, because at its core, this was a charity event meant to help people. That's all this was. It reminds me of that episode of BoJack Horseman when Daniel Radcliffe and BoJack were in competition in Mr. Peanut Butter's show. Daniel Radcliffe doesn't remember BoJack, but he remembers, like, the makeup artist. And BoJack is so hurt about that when Mr. Peanut Butter offers, like, millions of dollars to be offered to charity. If he can name the actor who played Harry Potter, it would be given to charity. And Daniel Radcliffe is looking at him and like, yeah, that's funny. You don't know who I am. But then he starts to become more aggressive. He's like, dude, this is for charity. What are you doing? And then BoJack purposely misnames the Harry Potter actor, and the money gets set into a fire pit. And that's the same situation. I'm seeing it here. You're putting your ego and your pride above the purposes of this event. So this is it. I have participated in Creator Games 1 and 2 and excited to be part of YouTube's Creator Games 3 Hide and Seek at SoFi Stadium. After filming had wrapped, I truly couldn't believe how well I did at the competition and how proud I was of what I achieved. I had 3rd place. When the video released, I was shocked, disappointed, and felt hurt. MrBeast Jimmy had edited the video to make me look like I performed worse than I did. This was extra upsetting because I genuinely believed him when he said that the videos are authentic and real. Then you are oblivious to reality, because that's how reality TV works. They edit stuff. Not everything is authentic and real in reality TV. Even in this situation, it's for pure entertainment and charity. Of course, they're going to go for whatever is more entertaining. Sorry to tell you that. He edited the video to look like the final 3 people were Larray, Logan Paul, and Zach King. The final 3 people were actually Zach, Quackity, and myself. Yeah, Quackity actually came out about this, I believe, not recently, like months ago. So in his case, at least he came out as recently as he could about the situation. For the entire duration of filming, we all wore earpieces connected to walkie-talkies. They would announce in our ears when someone had found or when we had to move hiding spots. If we didn't move, we were immediately disqualified. While I was hiding, they announced that they found Logan Paul. I couldn't believe I outlasted him. He's a fierce competitor. Okay. It was getting really late. We filmed over 24 hours straight, and they eventually offered me money to come out of hiding and quick. I declined. I had been counting eliminations, and I was currently in 4th place with Larry, Quackity, Zach, and myself still remaining. Jimmy asked me to move hiding spots again to the side of the stadium with the mannequins. It was the time when I found out the transition, moving to my next hiding spot. When Jimmy found me, he brought me to the field with the others that had also been found. I thought I had placed 4th. However, Larry had fallen, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I apologize, asleep when he hadn't moved in a long time. He was disqualified. I meant I got third place. When I arrived to the field, I saw Matt, Pat, and Logan because they were now seekers now. Jimmy, he was going to look for Zach, and I asked if anyone wanted to join him. I offered him, but he said he wanted to take Logan instead, so I hung back and started looking for Zach in a different direction with Matt, Pat. I placed third, Quackity placed second, and Zach played first. So, again, the winner was the same person shown in the video. That is what actually happened. Despite Jimmy editing out the only female, puts that in caps, and this will complement another video we'll look at. I was proud of what I achieved. I followed the rules of the game, gave it my all, had fun, and never gave up. They can't take that away from me. Yeah, they can't. But you're making this sound like this wasn't a charity charity event that was directed at helping people. You're making this about yourself, and the way you wrote only females, you're trying to insinuate something. Because she did come out with this video with this podcaster, Just Triss, where she kind of lists MrBeast as misogynist, which is a very, very heavy thing to call someone. Like, along with Quackity's situation now, they're calling MrBeast racist, which is another heavy thing to call someone. Like, being a misogynist, a racist, being accused of one is horrible. And it doesn't help that she leaked DMs. Look, leaking private DMs is one of the crappiest things you can do. One, it betrays trust. It means that no one can trust you moving forward. After you do this to someone you knew on a personal level, even as a coworker, it's not cool. It's incredibly distrustful, because going forward, no matter who you work with going forward, I'm sure a lot of them will be like, I don't want to talk to this person on DMs because they might leak something and take it out of context. Remember the sentence I wrote, I'm going home, and the way I spoke it? Same situation. Someone could take those DMs and say it means differently. But I'm sure Jimmy is very smart and he didn't say anything incriminating. So Rosanna leaked DMs with MrBeast following the allegations of lying and false editing. Rosanna is not backing down after accusing MrBeast of editing out the Creator Games 3. Her latest move seen the pair of DMs leaked. MrBeast found himself in hot water after being accused of editing a video to misrepresent the winners of his challenges. The claims from Rosanna, another content creator with 14 million followers on YouTube. Rosanna took to Twitter earlier this week to slam MrBeast, claiming she had come in third in Creator Games 3 competition, only to have her wins removed from the final video. Again, the only thing that mattered was first place. That's all that mattered. Standing her ground and refusing to back down, Rosanna has now leaked private DMs between herself and MrBeast on Twitter, and she's seemingly not impressed with what he said. So, we're going to look at the DMs here. If he can say it to me on the phone, he can say it in writing. Absolutely not true. Writing is for legal. Speaking is for personal. When I asked him to send over the raw footage to review the timeline, he went radio silent, likely because he was busy or he forgot. Look, I'm not trying to take MrBeast's side entirely on this. If it turns out to be true that she was in the top 3... yeah, he edited the footage. Good for him. Like, you're in the right, but it doesn't change anything. It just makes you look worse as a person to put yourself at the center of an event that's meant for charity and helping people. This event wasn't for you. It was for other people. MrBeast kept pressing me to get on the phone, and I refused to answer any of my questions in writing. That just makes you look even worse as a person, because I doubt more people will be willing to work with you after this situation. It just makes you look incredibly bad. And again, she has a music video coming out right now. Like, it's 10 hours old. It has 39k views, which is, decent. But, for a 14 million sub channel, that's a little weird. But regardless, like, the timing just seems very strange at this point. So, yeah, let's look at the DMs. What's your phone number? I'd love to call you and see if we can figure out what happened, which seems like a plausible answer. You want to ask things as an adult and see, hey, is there some way we could resolve this? And also, if you have Instagram, you can actually call people. So I don't know if that's what's also an option. Hey, Jimmy, my intention of speaking up is not to be malicious or create drama. Only female. In all caps. I was really hurting by the editing decision you made. How do you know he made it? Like, that's the thing. MrBeast is a huge content creator. There are job listings on LinkedIn stating that he's constantly looking for help to either edit his videos, to look at analytics, to do all this stuff. How do you know it was him? Like, maybe he was the one who made the final say. You never know. Maybe he was. But I doubt he was the one who edited the video. I'm pretty sure they had an editor do that. You know, someone who is profoundly good at Premiere Pro. After all, this is a 97 million viewed video at a 200 million sub channel. Like, you want to get the best professional you can do. Editing me out of the top 3 and making me look like I performed worse than I did felt awful. Yeah, it felt awful for you. I doubt anyone cared. The only one who mattered in this competition was the one who won first place. Like, do you really... Like, I don't think your YouTube channel or your, like, image took a tank because you were not shown to be in third place. Quackley was also edited out of the top 3, and he also talked about it. I've stayed silent for so long, it's causing me mental stress and anguish. If this is causing you mental stress and anguish, you're a loser. I'm not going to put that in any other context. Like, this is so utterly stupid if it's calling you mental stress and anguish. It's a charity video. That's all this is. A charity video from 2 years ago, which you could have spoken up about for 2 years, and you didn't. You're doing it right now at the same time you released a brand new music video, which just seems very sus. So I'm just calling BS on that. It's not mentally healthy for me to have someone make me look worse than I am to millions of people. Okay, you have a very overinflated ego because I doubt anyone gave a fuck. I'm sorry, like, I can understand you feeling disrespected, but I do not think anyone gives a flying anything that you didn't place third place, that you weren't shown as the third place victor, and I use that in very loose terms, in this creator charity event. Like, it's not going to boost your reputation. You're already in 2 other MrBeast videos. Anyone who gets featured in a MrBeast video, instant notoriety. And I'm sure you saw incredible large amounts of boost in your image after being in this video, even though you had millions of subs. Like, I'd be surprised if she talked to a lawyer about this and they said, yeah, this is a smart idea. You should totally do this. This makes sense. Like, if I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure if you look at a legal person, they're going to look at this and say, this is going to make you look bad in so many ways, and it's not going to go the way that you think it is. I would never do that to a fellow creator. You're doing that right now to MrBeast right now. You're literally calling him a misogynist. Like, again, the way you wrote your letter, multi-paragraph letter, and what you said about him in this video, you're doing exactly that. Obviously, I was just trying to make, I wasn't trying to make you look bad. Just give me time and we can chat. I'm not mad or anything and just want to help. Again, reasonable response. He's trying to be as neutral as possible about the situation. Jimmy's handling this very well. Like, he knows what this is about. This is literally character assassination. She's trying to get him to slip up and say something that he normally would not in a text message, so it could be taken out in a very despicable way. I'm sure a lot of us have seen that on multiple occasions, either on personal or professional relationships. Why did you lie? Why did you say in the video that you found Logan literally 1 minute before Satch? I outlasted Logan and was proud of what I accomplished. You're proud that you outlasted Logan Paul? I don't think anyone would be proud of, like, being better than Logan Paul, because I feel like a lot of us are already better than Logan Paul on an ethical level, considering what he did in Japan, considering what he did with CryptoZoo, considering how he treats his fans. Like, I would, like, the way he just treats people in general. Just look at that. I feel like that should be enough to make you feel like, what? It was actually built some confidence in myself that wasn't there before. It's just like, maybe it's a physical body system. I don't know. That could be a situation that you felt like you outperformed, because Logan Paul is very athletic. Like, the guy is built, so maybe that's where she got her confidence from. At that point, that's something you have to resolve on your own. Like, be happy about your own athletic abilities, not someone who's a professional boxer. I don't know. It's been a while. Let's call and figure it out. Yeah, again, neutral response. perfectly reasonable. That's what he should be. I'll give you some time to look into it. Wow, that is... And remember that we can discuss... Wow, that is... Like, the way you're speaking is just so jaded. I'm more than happy to review all the raw footage to help show the timeline of events. Feel free to send it over to my team. Let me know. Again, what do you win from this? Like, this is a charity event. Like, I have to keep stressing this. This is a charity event. What are you going to win from this? Oh, MrBeast edited me out of a video that came out 2 years ago for a charity event. That's going to make you look even worse. Like, I feel like anyone who's above the age of 2, I'm being generous here, but, you know, anyone with any sort of real-world experience and actual wisdom will be like, you're acting like a petulant child. Who the hell cares? This is a 2-year-old video for helping people. Why the hell does anyone care? Like, the way you look just looks so much worse. Like, it makes you come off as petty and unhinged. Like, to the point that no one will trust you anymore. Like, I don't think any big creator is going to trust you anymore after this. They're going to be like, she's going to leak my DMs and make me look like a bad guy. Like, she's going to try and cancel me or do something. Like, you start to roll all these negative things in your heads after someone does something like this. Like, would you trust someone who does this? I wouldn't. I'll be like, no, it's crazy. No one cares. True that. I don't think this looks the way you think it looks. Now you're leaking private DMs. The dude has a massive team, and he isn't the sole decision maker. He wanted to hash this out on the phone. A reasonable request. He may not remember specifically what happened because he has a lot on his plate. Yeah, exactly. How many of us even remember what we ate for breakfast? Like, come on. Most of us don't even remember what we did last week. And he still wanted to have a private phone conversation to go through everything and try and make it right. Yeah, exactly, because lawyers and legal things are extremely expensive. Like, anyone who's been even in a civil dispute, like, I was one time going to file a civil dispute against a company who refused to give me my final paycheck, but it just wasn't worth it because of the amount of stress I would go through. You, meanwhile, are making demands. He probably has hundreds of hours of footage, and who knows if he still kept the raw footage that shoot being so long ago at its time. Exactly, like, this is a huge video. I'm going to assume, like, it's maybe 100 gigabytes, maybe even more. Like, this is raw footage that's heavily edited. Like, it's not, and if it's a 24-hour video, that's even more. Like, he probably has an entire hard drive dedicated to this. They have to look through all of this stuff, even if they have it, because companies, MrBeast is a company, deletes this stuff all the time. Like, once they reach a threshold, the footage is gone. If you think these DMs make him look bad, what it looks like is he's trying to figure out this privately with you, and you don't seem willing to have a real conversation like a real human being. You're making demands. Yeah, exactly. You just sound like someone who's like, give me this, give me everything I want. You're in the wrong. And he's just being like, maybe we can figure this out. Maybe we can, discuss this. No, you're wrong. Give me what I want. It's also reasonable for her to decline the phone conversation. That's also actually true. She can decline the conversation as well. But the way she comes off is just in the wrong here. Like, if it turns out, like, she's right and this was heavily edited, she even put it in her bio. Oh my god. I trained with my little nephews for a year. Oh my god. I don't think this could get even worse. Not for MrBeast, for her. You are coming off as so insecure right now. Dear Christ Almighty. Like, you have millions of subs on your YouTube channel. You are a massive success. Things that people would kill for. And you're making this your entire personality right now. It just makes you look so bad. Like, I don't know where she's coming off that this would make her look good. Like, in what mindset? If her wanting to have a conversation is demanding, is so wanted a phone convo. No, that's not. The way MrBeast came out, it was just like, hey, can we talk? And she said no, in a very aggressive manner based on her DMs. And he's like, I still want to discuss this privately. It's open if you want to, because that's exactly what he said. He's like, hey, it's been a while. Let's call and figure it out. Like, he's not trying to make you look bad. He even says it. The way she's doing is making her look bad. If she feels more comfortable with written convo, that's how it should, how he should fix it. Actually, no, because writing, as I stated, the way I said I'm going home can be misconstrued as many different ways. Written conversation, if you take one thing out of this video, the way you write is way different than the way you speak. It always is, no matter what. So written conversations are something entirely different from spoken. So I don't think this person truly understands that. Just because you can write something down doesn't mean you can actually write down the way you feel. No, she wants receipts. He wanted no receipts. It's very obvious. No. He just doesn't want to be, interpreted in a wrong way. Anyone who says receipts, and these are people who don't really think critically. I'm starting to see that more often than not, that people just don't have critical thinking skills about actually looking at stuff the way that they should. They just look at them at face value, and that's kind of how the world operates right now, even with TikToks and those false claims on YouTube about inspirational videos of people like, hey, this person is making his own soap out of sea salt and water, or those stupid videos that just take some random image and then they incorporate a fake fact, put that in quotation, on Instagram and get thousands or hundreds of thousands of with people believing it's true because it's inspiring. This person worked hard, or this person fought against a man, or this person is just so an inspiration that you want to be that way. But the reality is 99% of those things are fake. And when it comes to these written stuff, receipts are important, but the context of those receipts are also just as important. So, yeah, we love you so much. This is actually pretty cringe. Just maybe he doesn't have the footage that 2 years anymore. You lost me. You're having him pressing him here. He's trying to have an adult conversation. You can tell if you want to guilt text so you can screenshot it. That's why he's not giving it to you. This guy gets it. Absolutely, that's what it is. You want a certain text message in order to make it seem like he's in the wrong. And MrBeast has been doing this for a while now. He has way more experience in this than me. Even though I'm 33 and 25, and he's 25, he has more years worth of experience based on just his career than I do. So he's really good at this and understands what she's trying to bait him into doing, and he's just not having it. He's very smart, and that I give him credit for. This was 3 years ago. Rosanna was a tragic victim of being edited of a hide-and-seek competition. Today, she's decided to speak up that others are not met with the same tragedy. This is her story. Oh, my God. That is exactly what you would see in those Snapchat, Instagram inspiring stories. Just black background and white text. It's just it is funny, and I'm sure YouTube is probably we already dealing with the Sniper Wolf situation. We don't want to have to deal with this shit as well. So at its core, the way I see all of this is that this is someone who's doing this purely for clout chasing and trying to shame one of the biggest content creators for something that happened years ago that was so insignificant, even in the grand context of things, that she's making a charity event that was meant to help people and just entertain viewers all about herself. She's not seeing this as something that, likely boosted her image a little more, but seeing it that it's all about her. Look at all these people that are here right now. It's not about them. It's about the $1 million prize pool, who the first victor gets in order to donate to charity. That is the whole point here. And it just makes you come off as someone who just is so insecure with her own image or whatever is going on in her life that she needs to drum this up in order to try and make herself feel better. Because that's how I see it. She probably is feeling down and disturbed in some sort of way, and she wants something to make herself feel better about what's going on in her life. That's the way I'm seeing this, because anyone with a modicum of common sense would have looked at this and said, this is not right, you shouldn't do this, talk to the guy, and if things go haywire, then at least you talked to him and gave him the choice. Because if you actually talked to him and it happened that way and then you still came out with it, at least you gave him a shot. That's what I've told to one of my friends who stopped being friends with another one of my friends. She just said, oh, he's no longer my friend anymore. And I'm just like, did you talk to him? And she's like, no, I didn't talk to him. I'm like, then how do you know that you're not going to resolve these issues? When a situation happened between me and my friends Flint and Stefan, we talked about it. I actively go and we speak about it and we try and move past that in a civil way. We don't just hold on to grudges and be like, oh yeah, we're just not going to talk about it and not say anything. No. I've always believed in openly communicating with a person in order to try and discuss things amicably, because if you don't and you take this into like it's like a I don't know, it's just like a comedy show where everyone is backed by a lawyer and you can't say anything unless you have a lawyer present. Like that situation where Gerald is in the classroom when South Park, where he's giving everyone legal advice. It's the same situation here. Either way, I feel like this is just like a huge win for Mr. Beast, because he comes off as the good guy here, and Rosanna, she comes off as a very insecure person in a large context of all of this. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Let me know if I'm not aware of something, if something happened that I didn't know about in this video or missed something. I like to hear other people's opinions about it. That's the only way I would learn in a situation like with my PS5 video. But yeah, like, dislike, your choice. That's me signing out. Bye.